I'm Elisa and welcome to Polymer Clay TV. Today I have a new veneer to show you, and this one's a really fun one, and it's a few different steps, so let me just walk you through and tell you where we're going here and what you're going to need. I am starting out with translucent clay, but you can use any color clay you want. I also used the rose gold or the yellow gold, yellow gold glitter, that's what it's called. When I was making this, and I really liked the way it looked because it has like little silver particles in it, and I used my silver leaf, which you're also going to need. And this is imitation silver leaf. It comes in sheets like so, and you can get it at most craft stores or online, and it's not too expensive. So what you got to do is you have to start with conditioning your clay, obviously. And you want to roll it out to the thickest setting on your pasta machine because you want it relatively thick when you're doing this. Because the idea is that we're going to be crackling the clay. We're going to be adding, little cracks. And when you add the silver leaf, and let me bring this in here and just kind of lay it on there. Sometimes I like to just use up scraps when I'm doing a project like this. And so I just kind of lay it on and then, kind of wipe off the extra. And that's really all there is to it, is just get your silver leaf, or you can do it with any color leaf, but I'm using silver because I'm kind of really liking it. So, okay, so once you have your leaf on, you want to send it through your pasta machine at a thinner setting than what you started at. So we started at the thickest, so I'm going to go and run it through my pasta machine by folding it in half first, okay? So now it's nice and thick, and when I run it through the pasta machine, it's going to crackle. Now, I know I'm going to be doing a polymer trading coin, so I want to make sure that it's also big enough when I stretch it to do that. So think about that when you're making something, how big you're going to need. So let me run this through the pasta machine, and I'll show you what it looks like. So here you have it. And see how it makes this beautiful crackle. I love the way it looks. So at this point, you're going to be using alcohol inks. And if you haven't used them, they come in these little bottles. There are several companies that make them. This one's by Ranger. It's called Adirondack Inks. And they're alcohol inks. Pinata brand makes them. This is by Jacquard. And they come in a wide range of colors, so you can choose whatever you want. However, when you're doing this, you got to make sure to choose colors that won't turn to mud. So it's best to use contrasting colors. I don't put brown next to a really dark red, things like that. So you have to learn what colors you can put next to each other and what you can't. Now, this is what we're going for here. Look at how gorgeous this is. It's just so pretty the way the light hits it and it changes colors. And so what you want to do is you want to pick whatever colors. I did a purpley pinky there. Let's go with some green. And just randomly drop it on your piece, like so. And I think this is like an orangey color. There's no rhyme or reason or anything, specific that you have to do with this. Just do it feels right, and you'll see you can always add more color to it or whatever. So then you need an old cruddy brush, and you just want to start running it along on top until you have a look you like. And it's really that simple. I think I'm going to add a little tiny red in here. And see, that's what I'm saying. You can go back and add more where you want to have some extra color, or you want to change something, or add a little highlight, whatever it is that you want to do, you can still do it. Now I could have left it like that. Ooh, this really made it red. Okay, so since it made it so red, I'm gonna, I guess, end up back with this blue. That might have been a little more than I wanted, but just gingerly rub it across. Now, the important part at this point is to let this dry completely. So it's really pretty, though. Look at how pretty, And there wasn't much to it. So I have one. Let me pull this one in. This one is already dry. I did this earlier. And So I know I want to make my polymer trading coin, so let me go ahead and do that, and let me cut that out. And I'm just using the 2.5-inch cutter because that's the size. And I can clean up my edges real fast. But look at how beautiful. And so I'll set that aside for a second. Now, I have this extra, and I made sure that I had extra because I also want to make a moth too. So that's where silk screening comes in. Actually, I'm not going to do the moth. I think I'm going to do the butterfly. I decided on this one I'm going to do butterfly. And so then you would place your butterfly just like you would silk screen anything else on top of the ink. Now, if your ink isn't completely dry, you might get staining on your silk screen. I wouldn't worry too much about that. It doesn't make a difference to me. So, and it's not going to clog it up. So don't worry too much about it. And then I want to add, I think I want my butterfly to be gold. So I'm using, whoa, holy mackerel, that's a lot of paint. I don't need all that. But anyways, I'll show you. And let me grab my squeegee. A little goes a long way, and this is such a small design. So then I just silk screen it like I normally would any other piece. And make sure you get a nice coverage. And then peel it back. And look how gorgeous that is. And then from there, I can cut it out with a razor blade, or if I wanted to leave it circular, make a circular or whatever, if I had enough room, I could do that. But this has to dry. You make sure you let it dry all the way. And I actually did not prepare one of those. So let's just kind of set that aside for now and work on this next one. The back piece here. Now, what I did with the last one, which I showed you with the moth here, I added another silk screen. So I did multiple layers of silk screens. It wasn't just the one screen. I added more. And these silk screens are from the coin set that I'm showing you. There was a whole bunch of them. You could have ordered them when you ordered the book, but let me see, I'm not finding the silk screen I want. So I'm going to just use a different one. Let's go with this one. This one looks really cool. And I think this was like a little freebie one that was given out. Now, since I have so much gold here, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the gold because I'm not going to change it. But on the other one, I did white paint. And it's very subtle, the white in the background there. But for this one, I'm just going to do gold because that's what I have here. And I over poured it. And I don't like wasting it, especially this Golden brand. If you haven't used Golden brand, this is such a gorgeous color, but it's not cheap. That's for sure. So you definitely don't want to waste it. And so I just would silk screen this whole background. And then, I missed down here. But then I've got this gorgeous background. I can cut out my butterfly and add it right on top and make this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And it's just, let me pick this up so you can kind of see how it shimmers through. Whoa. See how it shimmers through the silk screen? So when choosing a silk screen, you want to look at how much lines are involved because you want enough for your background to show through. So that's important. Like I chose this butterfly because it had that nice opening so you'd be able to see the crackled leaf in the background and it would just, shine through really nice. So that's all there is to this technique. I'll finish making this piece so you can see what it comes out. If I may change it a little or, add a few things, but I'll show it to you on the blog at polymerclaytv.com. You can find it there. And I hope you'll share what you make at polymerclaytribe.com. That's our Facebook group. Come on over there and join if you're not already a member and share what you make. In this year of veneer, we've got lots of things planned, and I actually have a variation of this that I'm working on too. But I just really love it. I think it's so gorgeous because sometimes, the bling is a little much for me. I'm not that big of a blingy girl, but when you tone it down by adding these colors, and then you come back on top and add a silk screen, it really makes for a gorgeous, almost an Indian feel, you know, like the Indian sari fabrics, which is really beautiful and one of my favorite things. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for joining me.